Okay. So if you're reading the title, you know what this is about. I have not come prepared um with any notes really. This is just my natural reaction as to what's going on with AEW right now. There is so much controversy right now that I was going to put it all out in a tweet, but I decided, you know what? I have so much that I want to say that Twitter just can't really fit all the characters that I want in there. Um, so All Out, I like the show. I'm not going to go through a review on it. That's not what this is about. Um, but this is just getting crazy and not in a fun way of what's been going on with AEW. They have had problems with Punk and Hangman that have not been resolved in any way. Um, and they had some backstage meeting that was supposed to help, was supposed to, clear up any anxiety or troubles that the talent was having. And it appears that maybe that didn't help at all. And it's just been a clusterfuck. It's so bizarre going from WWE was the evil corporation that was holding the wrestlers back and everything, and such an unhappy place to work with, and they're changing everything on the dime on wrestlers and making it such a hard place to work for, to now going to where WWE at the moment is the place where people are actually seeming to enjoy the workplace there, and they're enjoying what they're doing. Whereas right now, AEW is losing control of the situation at the moment. And it's sad for me because AEW is the wrestling promotion that I love them a lot. They have put on great matches. They tell great stories, I think. And it's sad to me that a bunch of people are having such a hard time getting along with each other. And it's sad to me that CM Punk is the one who's creating a lot of controversy out there because I'm a big fan of Punk. And, you know, I hate what is happening. Now, is Punk to blame for all of it? No, I don't think he's to blame for all of it, but it just feels like everything just keeps circling around CM Punk in this whole situation, and something has to be done because right now the image that AEW has is that they are a promotion that, and this is just my opinion, that they're a promotion that you might want to hold back on joining at the moment because they don't have their head screwed on right at the moment. Tony Khan needs to be a little bit harder on these guys, especially CM Punk. I don't know if CM Punk is thinking that he could just walk all over Tony Khan. I don't think that I like to be the I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I'd like to think that CM Punk isn't trying to be like, oh fuck Tony Khan, he's not gonna do shit to me, you know. Um, but it's just like, CM Punk says everything they said, and when they got on the media scrum, whatever the fuck they call it, Punk opens up talking about Colt Cabana, and I'm like, you know, it's weird because I don't think Cabana, and all of a sudden, he starts talking about Hangman Adam Page and a bunch of shit, and it's so weird. Punk is just, ever since he's come back, from his injury, he's just been creating controversies backstage, with calling out Hangman, and then after the media scrum, just so much shit, and it's sad. It's sad to see that AEW just having so many different problems. I don't even want to say so many. It's just they're newsworthy, and like it's just under one situation. Punk, what he did. He's creating. I don't even want to say that. Punk is doing it on purpose. I don't. I think that Punk is just pissed and just saying what he says. like how Punk usually is. But it's creating a rift backstage. Some people on the side of Punk, some people on the side of Hangman, and I don't even know if Hangman's trying to argue anything or if he's just letting Punk say what he wants. We haven't heard how Hangman's reacting to anything, but we heard that apparently that some of the members of the Elite, Omega and the Bucks, threatened to leave, and then there was a fight, backstage after Punk got off the fucking the table. Are you fucking kidding me? It's just this is getting ridiculous. And this has got to be settled because Tony Khan has got to do something. Because if he doesn't, this is going to get explosive in a bad way. This is bad, what's the fucking word I'm looking for? This is, I don't want to say news. It's bad news, I guess we'll say. Is bad publicity. That's what I'm looking for. It's bad publicity that is being spread over on AEW right now, and that's not what us fans of AEW want. Because at the end of the day, we still like the show, we still like the product, we want it to do good. Because when AEW does good, of course, that means WWE is gonna want to push themselves to do better as well too. Everyone wants to work hard to give the wrestling fans what they want, good ass shit. And it's just like, this is fucking madness. It's just like, how hard is it to just sit somebody down and it's like, Punk, it's like, you have got to slow the fuck down. It's just like, you say it's too late for an apology. Well, you know what? I don't think it is. Sit down right here. We got to hash things out before this just turns into something that we don't want. I want you here in AEW, but at the same time, there is so much backstage shit that is happening here, and it needs to get resolved because the fans are hearing about this. They're not liking what they're hearing. It makes me look bad. It makes us look bad. We need to get this figured out. It's like, because this is too much. And I get it. How I say it sounds so easy. But isn't that how it should be? It's just like, just sit down, talk things out. You're grown-ass adults. You don't have to be like, oh, fuck you, and just starts throwing punches and whatnot. Are you kidding me? Grow the fuck up. It's like, I don't give a shit if you're from the old era where it's okay to, sometimes you just have to fight things over, and that's how you hash things out. It doesn't work that way. We are in a new generation of era where you can sit down, talk things out, and do business. Do you have to like someone as your friend? Absolutely not. But you have to respect them as a coworker to do business, to do right business. Not go into business for yourself. And if and if Punk felt that, Hangman went into business for himself, well, then Punk gave him the receipt on Wednesday, right? Should be fair. Should be over and done with, right? But then Punk calls out Hangman again on the fucking, media scrum. It's like, dude, you already gave the receipt to Hangman on Dynamite, and then you're putting more fuel onto the fire after what you said, because you're just acting like a dick on there. And I'll call Punk out on it because, I like the man and I'm a big fan of Punk's, but I can also call out the bullshit. And this is ridiculous. I'm tired of reading this news, hearing about this news. It's just like, guys, you have got to get your head on straight. Something has to be done, because whatever fucking thing you've done with the backstage meeting that you had doesn't feel like it did anything. And then apparently Malachi Black asking for his release, that's upsetting to me. I love Malachi Black. I mean, apparently he might be going through some personal stuff, and so I hope that he's okay. Maybe he just needs a mental break from professional wrestling, because he's a very creative guy, and so he's always got to be working through his brain and planning things out. So it's just got to be maybe taking a toll on him, and just needs a break. I don't know. But it's just there's so much shit that's just going around right now surrounding AEW, and it's just and not in the good way. Like MJF just came back, and yet all that we're talking about is the backstage bullshit that happened between CM Punk and the Elite and Tony Khan and what he needs to do. And yet the focus has been taken away from MJF's return. I mean, MJF had this, group, which probably has to be his group that he's coming out with. And yet all people are talking about on social media is Punk and this bullshit. I mean, come on. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I can't wait to see, what happens on Dynamite, after all this bullshit. I almost feel like Punk's probably going to get booed a lot. And you know what? He probably deserves it. Because when you act like a dick backstage, because people have to remember, this is the era where things get put out on social media and they have sources. They have good sources that people trust and they listen to. And it's just like when you hear so many different sources quoting the same thing, well, it's like, well, it's not just, rumors anymore. Now it's, what you're actually hearing. And it's just, it's upsetting. That's the only way that I can really describe the whole situation that's going on with AEW right now. Is it's upsetting to me, because this is the place that, I said that people should want to go to work for, because I felt you would get a better opportunity with them. I really stuck up for them by saying so many different words about them, and just seeing how the workplace is turning into, because Tony Khan has got to step up and be more of a leader. He can't walk on eggshells with CM Punk. If Punk's being the problem, you've got to step up. You've got to step on Punk's dick at times. You have to step it up. And you don't have to be a tyrant and say, well, if you do this, I'm firing you, bitch. Or whatever fucking Vince McMahon might do. I don't know. But there has got to be a better way to handle a situation than what's going on right now. Because right now it feels like there's no leadership. And Tony Khan's got to step up, man. It's like this is the moment where you have to really start taking control of what's going on. You cannot let your employees run your company. You're the boss. You are the man who's in charge. The EVPs have to listen to you. Now, there's always listening to your employees. That's fine. But again, Tony Khan's just got to step it up. Something has to be done before this company just, starts getting more bad publicity and things get worse. I don't want things to get worse. I love AEW. I watch it every week. You know that. I'm here with you guys doing the live stream with you on Wednesdays. It's sad for me to see all this, bad publicity that's going around for AEW, when they just had their pay-per-view, and they should be having people to be talking about, oh man, what a great show. I'm just seeing how people are saying it was long, it was exhausting, and I build up that, I've built up that, ability to hang in there through the long hauls of the pay-per-views of AEW, because they only do 4 of them a year. So, you get used to it. But it's just like, there's just so much of the backstage bullshit that's going on. My hair looks like crap after I just wiped my hair there. But yeah, I mean, honestly, that's like my thoughts on AEW at the moment. Is I'm sad for it. I want it to do better. I want them to keep growing their fan base. I want the views to keep going up. I want, ratings to do great. I want them to make more money so they can pay more wrestlers, like they want. I want them to be able to get a television show for Ring of Honor. There's so much that Tony Khan has invested in with Ring of Honor and AEW. so much money he's invested in with the AEW, Fight Forever video game. There's so much that he has invested in of his own money that I feel that the man deserves to get something, and he has made something for AEW. That's just like he's got to, I just want the ball to keep rolling for him. And I'm not saying that AEW is in trouble of losing, the company anytime soon, but it's just like it worries me that they might get less money, or something, or that people are just going to lose interest because if some of the big names just start disappearing, or if all the backstage bullshit just doesn't get resolved, who else is going to want to leave? Now that Triple H is in charge, is FTR going to be like, you know what? I think we might want to go back to WWE. Take a look at there. I mean, how many people might actually want to do that? I'm not saying FTR would. I'm just using them as an example. How many people in AEW, if things don't get resolved, might look at what's on the other side? Because that there are people that are. From the moment that Cody Rhodes left AEW and went to WWE, that people were looking at, how Cody's going to be treated, how things are going to go. And now that Triple H is in charge, there's more people that are probably going to be like, I'd have more confidence in Triple H actually looking at me and saying, hey, I'd give this kid a shot. There's a lot of people that are probably pay attention to that. And again, if the backstage bullshit doesn't get fixed, then it can only get worse for Tony Khan. So I just wanted to put out my thoughts on the whole situation that has been going on as of late with AEW. Because I was going to put out a tweet about it all, but I'm just like, you know what? Everything that I want to say, I don't have enough characters for Twitter. So the main takeaway is that I'm upset. I'm very sad for them because this is a company that has kept me in love with professional wrestling pretty much. As when Vince McMahon was in charge of WWE, and I just couldn't watch that product really because it pissed me off and it wasn't entertaining for me most times. AEW was there to keep my, professional wrestling on a weekly basis to help me do something. So I want things to get resolved because this cannot go on. Because they can't take any more bad publicity like this. This is spreading like wildfire in a bad, bad way. And it's not what they need. It's not what they need. So I just hope this gets resolved. And I think that us as, wrestling fans, us as, AEW fans, I think we all want that. I think we all, I don't think we find this exciting. I don't think we find, hearing about this news exciting. I think we find it just upsetting to hear that it's like, are you kidding me? They fucking were like throwing chairs and punching each other backstage. Like, are you kidding me? Punk wants to talk about how I'm working with children. It's like, well, it's like you're throwing tantrums by throwing things and punching people. I don't know who threw the first punch or whatever happened, but it's just like, that's childish. I was like, are you kidding me? It's fucking bullshit, man. So again, I want this to get resolved because this can't go on like this. And if it continues, somebody's got to get kicked to boot. And if Punk has to be the one to leave, then you know what? So sorry, man. Get out. Jon Moxley will carry this fucking company on his back again because Jon Moxley did. When Punk went down, Moxley carried the company on his fucking back like he always does. That's why I was a little upset when Jon Moxley had, to drop the title to Punk. Good match, but just like, Moxley worked his ass off for this company and Punk just, comes back and, I got the title back. So that was a little, upsetting for me, but you kind of knew that was coming. But, again, if Punk has to be the one that has to leave, then you know what? Fuck it. You screwed yourself at that point. If you're the one that's causing problems, then you need to man the fuck up or Tony Khan has to suspend him or something. I don't know. I have no notes as to who is really causing all the problems, but it's all always surrounding around CM Punk and others. So something is wrong, and someone needs to be talked to. They have to sit, Punk, Hangman, the Elite, sit them down, and if Punk needs a group of friends in the room for emotional support, go ahead, put FTR in the room or whatnot. And it's just get control. Just fucking hash it out. Fucking, this is stupid shit. Sit down, talk like grown-ass adults. There's no need to be, throwing shade at each other. There's no there's no need for, there's just no need for all of this. Like, for me, it is so simple if I'm just there just to be like, if I'm like, hey man, just like, just talk, or I don't know. I just want to end this video. I'm just saying too much of the same old shit. It's just, again, just fucking someone do something to hash it out, to get these guys to, fucking work together. And you know what? Again, Punk said it's too late for an apology. No, it's not. No, it's not, Punk. You need to fucking grow up a little bit more. Okay? I could definitely see, I think that Punk has started to mature a little bit more. There were times that definitely I've heard stories in the past of Punk, just acting a little bit childish, and I can call out Punk on his bullshit, and he's already blocked me on Twitter already. So if he doesn't like what I'm saying, I really don't give a fuck. But it's just, again, something needs to be done. They need to hash things out before this explodes in a bad way, before people are actually starting to fight each other for real inside the fucking wrestling ring. And I don't think anyone would want to be unprofessional to actually purposely injure someone. But I don't know. You're just hearing about fights backstage, and it's just like, this is not right. This is not the locker room that we were hearing about when this company first started. When the company first started, it was, you might hear a little bit something every once in a while, but for the most part, it was like, I just love working here. People are so nice and everything. And then all of a sudden, now we're here just a bunch of bad shit that's coming from the backstage locker room. And you don't hear that with WWE anymore, really. And that's just so different, man. So different. So, again, something has to be done. They've got to put this to bed. You've got to get things under control. So, Tony Khan, I'm begging you, just do something, my man. You have the fan support to just gain control. Take a little bit more control if you need to. Do whatever you need, okay? But because you're the boss. You're the boss. You are in charge, and you can take control of the situation. I just want to end this right now. But again, my last thoughts is just, it's sad. I hate hearing about this. It's just not the AEW that I wanted and heard, from the early goings. I want things to stay the same, where guys are getting along, they're putting on great matches, great shows. Things happen every once in a while. Unfortunately, in professional wrestling, people are weird, man. They let egos get the better of them, and sometimes things happen. But it's just like, if they happen, you just have to talk it out, hash it out. It's not that hard. I'm an outside person. I'm not inside the backstage locker room. But for me, as a viewer, it's just like, how hard can it be to really just sit there and just talk to your coworker to get things to a point where you can be like, you know what? I see your point of view. Can you see my point of view? A little bit, I can kind of see it there. This kind of got out of control. Yeah, right? I was like, what the fuck were we doing here? I know, right? Just find a joke, something to, laugh at each other about. I was like, I can't believe we were just acting like that. It's all good, man. Let's just put water under the damn bridge and let's just, fucking hell, be like, hey, we could turn this into an actual TV story. Kind of like what they did with MJF and Tony Khan. I started talking again too much. I'm sorry. Anyways, that's all, guys. I just wanted to put down this video on my thoughts of AEW as of late. I still think the product is good, but they have to get their backstage product They have to get the backstage under control, because most of the talent, from what we hear, I'll say from my point of view, is that everyone seems to be getting along. It's just the top guys are fucking pissing all over each other, if one way to say that. So thanks, guys, for tuning in. If you want to leave any comments down below of what you feel about the whole situation, go for it. Super click the subscribe, Coffin Drop that like button, and as always, as you know, it's not Wednesday, so I won't say stay elite. You know what I always say of staying cool. So there's that for you guys. Again, just wanted to get my thoughts on everything that's going on. Twitter couldn't handle everything I had to say. And of course, when I start filming, I'm a runaway train, and I never know when to shut the fuck up. So, again, that's all. Thanks, guys. And just let's get this under control. We don't need more bad publicity backstage. We just want some, good fun wrestling where everything is sunshine and rainbows backstage. Please.